Thanks to EA for sponsoring this video. Welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. In this video I'm working on a village in The Sims 4. I built this on one 64x64 lot in Windenburg. I did not use any custom content, so this build is completely CC free. I hope you will enjoy this. It was definitely a big project and I had a lot of fun creating this. Before we continue, remember to use code EMERALD when shopping Sims 4 packs to support me and my channel. Add a pack to your cart, enter Emerald, and apply the code. Thank you so much for your support. You already saw a quick teaser of the finished product in the beginning, and this definitely wasn't my initial vision for this build. I initially wanted to create a row of houses in a medieval, whimsical style, but I also didn't want it to be this medieval. I didn't really want to lean into the Tudor direction as much as I eventually did, but this was kind of my idea, and I'm probably mixing up styles again, but this was kind of what I wanted to do. I wanted to raise the terrain, and I wanted to have this big row of houses. And when I started to work on this, I totally loved the idea. I loved the look, but I built this on a big 64x64 lot and there was so much space left, and it kind of inspired me to make a lot of changes to this and to expand the build. And I slowly added more and more houses. I manipulated the terrain more and I kind of really shaped it into a village, but this wasn't the initial plan. And I had so much fun working on this because when you slowly add items and houses, like even individual small buildings to a lot, when you like slowly create something this big, it's like the best in my opinion. It's so much fun. I really love to build mansions, as you know, but working on these multi-build lots where I have multiple buildings on one lot, this is just the most fun for me. Here at this point you can already see that I created the row of houses and I also added another building in the front. And ironically, I'm going to remove this. This was kind of the first building which I added to the row of houses to turn it into something like a village, but the position just wasn't right. And it was also kind of blocking the view of the row of houses. When I'm working on a build, I really try to think of the composition like a painting in a way. Like I'm not claiming these builds to be like of any artistic value or to be like a painting, but I'm like kind of trying to approach it. I try to think of the composition, and you can here see that the building is already gone. It just wasn't looking good. I'm going to add another house to this area, and the thing is, when you choose a wall height for one level, you are stuck with it, which is one of my biggest pet peeves. I think if I could wish for any build buy update or any build mode update, it would be to make it possible to have like different wall heights for different individual buildings, just like we do for the foundations. I hate being stuck with a wall height. Like, generally it makes sense when you are building something like this to use the lowest wall height for the level at the bottom, because then later when you want to add a small cute house somewhere, like a shed or whatever, like a small building, you have the lowest wall height and it's looking right. But of course I totally forgot to do this here. And also, like, I like to build something and then I change the wall heights until I feel like the proportions are right. And yeah, sadly I did not think this through here. So later on I'm going to build this tiny house in this area, like on the left side between the slopes, and I will move it into the ground because you can like click on the little arrow and you can move buildings down, and it's kind of manipulating the terrain. It's like moving down and you can then like smooth out the slope. And I used this little trick even though it looked a little bit messy initially, but this was kind of my workaround because I totally couldn't go back to a low wall height because, as you can here see, I already like decorated and I just couldn't. It was too late for that. And I also used the base game glass walls, as you just saw. I love this. I'm just so obsessed with this update, and I I'm just using them all the time. I can just recommend to apply the glass wallpaper, and then you can just apply windows to the wall. You can use pillars, you can use some shelves, and this way it's not looking too bland and you can really do a lot of things. Also, when you're working on a very modern house and you want to have a big glass window, glass facade, whatever, even then adding some pillars can really help. And now that I'm talking about it, I think I really have to do this. Like, I should totally build a really modern house. I feel like at some point that's the only thing I build, and then I kind of stopped doing that. And I also feel like whenever I then went back to that modern style, that people weren't as interested, maybe because I built too many modern houses at one point, or maybe I don't know what it is, but I definitely still love to do that, and I think I will like build one now that we have the glass walls. And yeah, I also added some small towers. These are really just decorative, and I'm going to furnish all these houses so you can like let individual families move in. I'm going to upload this as a regular residential lot, and you can then do with this whatever you want. I'm not going to upload this as a residential rental because I'm just not going to do that. You can do this yourself if you want to turn this into a rental lot. I heard some people have some issues with this, and I just want to upload it as a residential, and you can then change the lot type if you own for rent, and you can assign the different units. You can totally do this. Yeah, I then started to work on a bridge. I simply built a room, a floor on top, deleted the room. I lowered the floor piece. I added some stairs, and here at this point I really started to lean into the whole village idea because I really loved the bridge, and I thought, okay, I still have so much space left, let's just add another building, and that's what I'm doing here. And you can see that it's again looking a little bit weird because of the tallest wall height, as I explained earlier, but I think it's okay, and I'm just going to use some platforms to kind of hide this a little bit. And I just wanted to have a very simple shape for a house here. I don't know, just don't want to take away from the main focus, which is kind of the row of houses in the back. And also, I think it's a solid house shape, so that's just what I did. I like to use the very small base game fence, and I like to apply it like on the edges around the roofs, because this way I can apply a trim, as you just saw, and it's looking so much nicer. So even if you don't see the fence, it's still giving you the option to apply the trim, and it's looking really nice. There's even one from, I don't know from which pack it is anymore, but there's one which is very tiny. Maybe it's Get to Work, and it's almost invisible. This one is also really great if you really only want to have it to be able to apply a trim. I can totally recommend that. And here I'm building a really fun building. You can see that I build it just to move it down into the water because I wanted to have some boats there so the Sims can access the build from the back. I'm going to use some stairs to connect it, and it's again just decorative. I wanted this to be accessible, so it's like a small port for fisher boats or something, but I wanted this to like be functional in some way because Sims can access the area, but at the same time it's just for decorative purposes. And everything is like functional in the sense that Sims can walk up the slope and reach all the individual buildings. The wood planks that I've used are from debug, from the base game, and they don't block your Sims, so it doesn't matter that they are there. The Sims literally just ignore them, and it's not blocking your Sims. And here I'm already furnishing one of the houses. For the interior, I also want this to be very rustic, but it's also kind of modern and luxurious. Like, I wanted to have a nice mix so it's not looking like a very authentic medieval village. It's still furnished like a regular modern house, but it's kind of old-fashioned and really rustic, as you can here see. I used the counters and cabinets from the Vampires pack, for example, and I will not include the furnishing process of all the buildings. I'm going to add lots of screenshots, and everything is furnished, so when you grab the Sissy Free build from the gallery, everything will be furnished. And yeah, here I used these bar stools, which do have a very old-fashioned medieval vibe. Life and Death also has lots of amazing items for builds like this, in my opinion. And I love that it's looking like really dark and gloomy and kind of rustic, but also luxurious. They totally just nailed the style of the pack. Also, let me know if you are excited for the upcoming expansion pack. Let me know all your thoughts in the comments. Are you hyped? Are you not hyped from what we've seen, from what the Sims team has revealed at this point? What do you think? I'm really excited to hear about this in the comments, of course. And yeah, you can see that I added a living room there, and it was really difficult to find the perfect spot for the stairs. This is always very difficult for builds like this. These are from the, I think it's called Nature's Calling event or something, like the table and the chairs. So these are like now a part of the base game. In the back, I'm going to add a bathroom, and yeah, you can see that this area looks a little bit more rustic. I always have a very hard time making the kitchens look as rustic. I wish we would get like a kitchen counter in this type of style, maybe in a event or maybe in a pack even, or in a base game update. I just wish we had a more rustic kitchen. And yeah, this video is slowly coming to an end. I will add a lot of screenshots so you can really check out all the individual builds and just interiors and all the little hidden corners. I'm going to add so many screenshots so you can really check it out. I hope you are doing amazing. I hope you are well. I love you all so much. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. I hope I will see you in the next video. I hope you've enjoyed this. And yeah, let's take a look at the screenshots now. Bye bye.